Hey guys, Mr. and Mrs. America. Um, this is getting a little out of hand, and quite frankly, to the point of um, third world to some extent. So, title of this video, of course, is the Democrats have gone full fascist, and it's been building. And I didn't know the entire specifics behind what was put up by Mark Levin a couple weeks ago. But he did an incredible amount of research, and he has a book out there that describes it. But basically, he points out that since like 1960s, more than 10 times, either the FBI or the IRS was using this country to go after political opponents. And he pointed out all the specifics, and only once was it a Republican, and like 9 times Democrats, and including now in 2004, Lois Lerner and Obama had went after Tea Party groups to silence them during an election, which should worry anybody. If Republicans did that to Democrats, there would be violence in the streets. The IRS has had to admit it, and they've had to actually pay restitution to these groups that they used. I mean, and the fact is that silencing opposition during an election is fascist. I mean, it's using the power of the government to harm people. But the scary thing is, lately, that's just one small portion of the fascist acts the Democrat Party has been enacting, and it's getting to the point that they're becoming totalitarian fascists. And some of the things you look at, again, Obama, who is the first president since, I don't know, like 1964, I think it was, to jail journalists, spied on journalists, tapped their phones and jailed them. And then, not really Obama, don't know that he had a hand in it specifically, but in the 2008 elections, the Democrat Party in general conspired to put in their choice for the nomination instead of the choice of the people. They actively worked against Bernie Sanders to make sure that who they wanted in there instead of who the people wanted, that they're Democrat voters. And that's the Democrat Party within itself. Fine, y'all can have at each other for that, or say, oh, I don't care if they were, do that to me and silence my voice. The Democrat Party's the only one's been calling for, silencing talk radio and anybody they disagree with. And again, it's just getting more and more fascist. But starting to build beyond that. You look at, and it's coming out, and at this point, it's actually coming down to being quite ridiculous, the arguments coming in. And you look at Lynch and Brennan are turning against Comey, and all the spying and stuff that went on. They, used a political research document as evidence to obtain FISA warrants to spy on American citizens. And if you're not up with what's going on there, they're actively getting different transcripts of testimony that has been given in secret released. And Trump says he's going to declassify a lot of that. And there are a couple of members of Congress who are actively working and have gotten some of that out. And what really came out recently is Nellie and Bruce Orr have admitted that they knew what the dossier was. They were working with the FBI and Brennan CIA, and that everybody knew that it was BS. It was a research document, and they used it anyway. And then there was some emails released from a woman at the State Department who had done an interview with the person who wrote the dossier, who is a foreign citizen, which is important. And some of the things that she learned from that she emailed to the FBI and reaffirmed that it was basically a BS document. And so they were aware before they signed the first FISA warrant that that was not really evidence. And they said in the FISA warrant it was evidence. So basically, they wanted to spy. They had to have a reason to spy, so they made one up or used false evidence to do that. So basically, without, if they didn't, if you say it wasn't, well, it doesn't matter because it was warranted spam anyway. Why did they use it? If they could have got that document, that FISA warrant without the dossier, they wouldn't have used the dossier, putting themselves in political and legal jeopardy, because you're signing a federal document. I assert and testify that everything I put in this is accurate to the best of my knowledge. When that's proven that that is a false statement that you sign on a federal document, you are liable to go to jail for falsifying a federal document. And Barr's not going to play. And the prosecutor that he assigned to get to the bottom of this isn't going to play. He has prosecuted FBI agents before, not Barr, but the prosecutor. I did a little research on him. Forgot his name right now because I'm getting old and forget stuff. But you can do that if you want to look into it. There are going to be people going to jail over this. And there are signs, and more of it's going to come out, and you can sit there and, say, it's kind of like the Democrats have been saying for the last 2.5 years, Trump's an agent of Russia and all this stuff, and it's come out. Well, no, you're absolutely incorrect. That's not true. It's been proven not true. You've got 4 different investigations that have gone on. Comey ran with the FBI before the special counsel was appointed. He found nothing. He handed all this stuff over to the special counsel, and the special counsel came up. He found nothing, which has been released. And the House and the Senate have both run concurrent investigations into Russian spying and collusion, and neither of them came up with anything. But yet the Democrats for 2 years been asserting it's there. Well, I'm not going to assert like I have actual knowledge or I'm saying this without regards to truth that it's there, but it's looking a lot like, and with what we see and what has leaked out, that there's been a lot of wrongdoing in that investigation. And from little hints like I will provide to you, a text message between Lisa Page and Strzok. One of them was, POTUS wants to know everything we're doing. And also, it has come out in the testimony, it has been released and declassified, which is why Loretta Lynch is going back against Comey right now, that the DOJ was involved in the Hillary Clinton investigation at least. So again, what you have, and it is fascism, that they decide, well, she's one of ours, we're not going to prosecute her. We're going to use the DOJ for political purposes. That is fascism. And it's totalitarianism. Now, we have a couple other things come up. And this is just the ongoing. Again, they want to silence the opposition. They've done it with the IRS, and they're trying to get, they've gone, fairness doctrine and everything else, trying to silence talk radio. The media in itself is in the tank. And to me, and this is not just me, but in looking at the argument, the media is given certain protections and rights under our law, which also means they have responsibilities. And they're not treating those responsibilities and with the utmost respect that they should. They are biased and they are political. And I understand Fox News, but at least Fox News says we are a conservative station. When you have CNN and these other ones, oh no, we're just the regular news, but we're biased as hell. BS. And then you got other things like the Kavanaugh confirmation hearings. Not just the media, which again they're not going under by our Constitution and by the regular morals and mores of what our government and what our society is supposed to be, but anybody in this country is innocent until proven guilty, but Kavanaugh wasn't. Because, well, we want something, and it's just okay to be fascist as long as we're getting what we want. Said every fascist who's ever been a fascist dictator in the world. No fascist says, well, I'm going to be a fascist to give someone else what they want. And that's what has come to be the Democrat Party now. Well, it's okay to be fascist as long as we're getting what we know is right. So, last week or over this week, I don't know if it was last Friday or this week. Now Kamala Harris has come out saying that she wants to make sure that if companies don't pay women the same as their men counterparts, that they're going to get fined. And in her structure of that, basically not based on going in and looking at how much experience they have, how much, like, if I'm working over here at company A for $50,000 a year and company B says we want to hire you, we're going to pay you the same thing we pay everybody else at $46,000 a year, I might say, well, I'm making $50 now, why would I change? And they say, well, we really need you because we don't have anybody for that position, and there's 1.5 million more jobs open than there are people to fill them right now, and we're not getting our work done because we have some position. We'll make the ability to pay you the 50, or if we have to entice you with 52 to come over, then okay, we'll make that offer. And her law doesn't want to look at stuff like that or even experiencing stuff. What she basically said was they're going to get fined until they prove that they weren't, basically, what do you call, or paying them different because of gender inequality or whatever. So again, we're going to find you and you're guilty until you prove yourself innocent. And the problem is they don't think there's anything wrong with this. They don't understand what a free society is. They don't even have a clue that that's wrong, and that's the sad part. We're not fascists. We're just like this. Well, being like that makes you fascist, you idiot. And now we have one of the things that really separates a free society from a fascist totalitarian society. Some like 9 or 11 states now, liberal states, of course, all Democrats, have said they're going to make a law that they're putting in place laws that will limit or keep Donald Trump off of the ballot in those states for presidential election in 2020 unless he provides his tax returns. And New York has written and passed a law through their legislature, waiting for the governor's signature, that will allow Congress to get Donald Trump's state tax returns from them to circumvent the IRS not giving them to him. And I looked, and I know I've heard 4 or 5 times from pundits, so I'm not going to speak specifically and say this is the God's honest truth, but in a free society, well, I'm going to say as absolutely truth, in a free society and in a normal society, the government doesn't make laws to go after one person. That's what's happening here. If you understand how that's now fascist, you're probably a fucking moron. And yes, I used a bad word. You're an absolute fucking moron. And that's what these Democrats are doing now. And I've heard pundits on TV, and I've tried to look, and when you type that into the Google search, it comes back with 1 million different things about how law is written and all this stuff. But multiple of them have said, that's actually illegal or against the Constitution. But you can't make a law in specificity to one person. So most of them will probably get thrown out if that's the case. And again, I'm not going to sit here like the liberals have done for doing, we know absolutely sure that Donald Trump's a Russian agent. Every one of you is talking at your ass. You're nothing but liars. Every freaking Democrat out there and every news person on the left out there. You're nothing but a pathetic liar. I'm calling that to your face. And if I see a CNN news anchor on the side of the road doing a story, I'm going to pull over and tell them so. You're fake news liars. And every single Democrat who's been saying that for the past 2.5 years, you're nothing but a liar. You have no proof whatsoever to back up what you were saying you never had. You're nothing but a damn liar. And you're supposed to be a leader of this country. You're a leader of shit. And I want you to know that. I digress. So, yeah, the IRS targeting 2004. You had the Bernie Sanders things 2008. Those are elections. Oh, I kind of forgot one. Every single thing that the Democrats lose, they want new laws to make sure that they win next time. Oh, Hillary Clinton lost. We got to do away with the Electoral College. Stacey Abrams lost in Georgia. It was because the Republicans did something. We need to change the voter ID laws or something so we can get more cheating or whatever. Every single thing, every single election they lose, there's a reason they lost, and they need to change the laws to make sure they win next time. But they're not fascist. So again, all this surrounds that part. The IRS, the Bernie Sanders surrounds elections. If you vote for a Democrat, you're a fascist. You might be your choice to vote for them. You're still a fascist at this point. And then you have the journalists gelling by Obama. Every Democrat now, as long as they're getting what they want, it's okay to be innocent until proven guilty. I mean, guilty until proven innocent. As long as they're getting what they want, that's okay. The spying on the campaign, that's also up there in the election stuff. And then they're making laws specific to one person. Who in the hell in their right mind wants to give these people power? They've ruined healthcare. I mean, you can't get if you have to pay for your own insurance. Oh, I'm sure if you're getting it for free, you're happy as hell. But if you have to pay for one, you can't afford one, period. I know people making, a family of four making $150,000 a year right now. When you got to pay $35,000 to $40,000 that after tax income, you can't afford your damn house. It's getting ridiculous. And by that, I'm talking about a family of four is having a $1,900 a month bill for their insurance and then deductibles on top of it. It's costing a family of four damn near $35,000 a year right now if you're self-employed and you don't have a way to get that insurance, through the group policies and stuff like that. And most people, it was almost impossible to get insurance in Georgia when you make more than the minimum amount where you're on the exchange, because nobody offers it. Blue Cross and Blue Shield was the last one, and they quit. I'm basically self-pay at this point. But thank you, liberals. Y'all helped healthcare. Now you want to take it over more. How about, not a damn thing you said that Obamacare was going to do about healthcare costs, healthcare savings, all that was true. You don't know what you're talking about. Everything you said about Trump taking office, about the stock market, the economy, jobs, is absolutely wrong. Apparently, Obama, what's he going to do? Wave a magic wand, bring the manufacturing jobs back? Well, let's see, there's more now than there was in 1980, and he's brought back 4 times more than Obama lost. So, yeah, he actually does know how to bring back the manufacturing jobs, apparently. But liberals have gotten every single economic, including the healthcare stuff, point wrong. Every one. Show me one where the Democrats have been right on it. The tax cuts weren't going to work. All this isn't going to work. The stock market's going to go down. We're going to have a high unemployment rate. We're going into recession because Trump's in charge. Healthcare is going to save every family $2,500 a year or more, up to $3,500. You can keep your doctor. It's going to make the deductibles go down. You're going to have cheaper premiums. Not a single economic issue have the Democrats been right on in 12 years now. 12 years. Show me one. It doesn't exist. So, y'all want to be in charge of the economy and saying Trump's wrong. Y'all want to be more in charge of health care. You haven't been right once. Explain me why you should be trusted with that.